Hi guys, Ian from footballboots.co.uk here. Today we're taking a look at these New Balance blackout boots. You'll have seen these boots being worn by some of the players who have been announced as New Balance wearers. Thinking of the likes of Fellaini, Ramsey, Fernando, players in the hashtag NB blackout squad. And we got ourselves a pair here. Now interestingly, this pair has been worn by a professional player. The kit man has come in and done a little change around on a few of the studs, so it was a firm ground version. It's been switched out to the soft ground, and today I'm going to be running through showing you these blackout pair of New Balance boots. Let's talk a little bit about design and colorway. There's not really a lot to tell you. You pretty much see that it's a blackout boot. The main thing is the N of the New Balance logo on the side here, nothing on the inside. So yeah, predominantly black boot. It's got laces that have been cut shorter because that's how the professional player preferred them as well. And the only other thing to say is we're expecting the launch pair of these when they officially come out, probably going to be called the Visaro, and they're probably going to be blue. But right now we're taking a look at these black pair. So in hand, the upper on these feels very reminiscent of the first generation Hypervenom Phantoms. Has that kind of rubbery and soft feeling to the upper. Now in terms of sizing, I'm probably going to go true to size. The width of this last means that it's really going to fit most foot types. So considering the softness of this upper, break-in should be pretty good with these. The only thing you've got to think about is the sole itself is a little bit hard, so it's going to take a few extra sessions probably to break that in and get used to your foot, but the upper itself is pretty nice and it feels pretty good when you slip the boots on. So with this rubbery synthetic on the forefoot and the midfoot feel of this foot, it's pretty good with this upper. It's nice and thin and soft, and it's going to bring your foot nice and close to the ball. Overall, the quality of the material is very high and it should deliver a comfortable fit and feel. Now this boot uses this honeycomb texture on the instep and the lateral side of the boot, and that increases the friction between the boot and the ball. And you've got this striking region here that's got these several raised rubber lines for extra curve when you hit it. So ignore, if you will, these metal tip studs, which are an aftermarket change by the club's kitman. Let's talk a little bit about the rest of the sole and the studs that are on here. The firm ground version is going to provide pretty good traction. It's got these triangular studs that have been used here, and then also these hexagonal ones, and this was hexagonal too. These hexagonal studs, they're pretty much conical really. It's not really a huge difference. It's not going to make a difference, but it gives you this little pivot and twist point here, and then it gives you this nice traction points here for running. And whilst, as I said to you before, that the sole is a bit stiff to start off with, it should pretty much loosen up over time and get you going. So considering this upper is relatively thin, protection wise, when you get a stud on the top here, it's not going to be too bad. You've got these kind of raised rubber areas here that are going to protect you a bit, and you've got the two layers, so it's not as thick, not as thin as some other boots kind of a similar classification. The tongue itself is relatively thick for a tongue, so if you get a stud on the top there from a corner or somebody jumping up and landing on it, it's not going to be as bad as some of your real lightweight synthetic speed boots. It's pretty decent protection wise, but it's not as amazing as a leather boot or something really designed for protecting your feet. So in hand, this Visaro feels like a durable boot. There could be a chance of sole separation around the toes and the forefoot here, but when I come and I look at it, it feels like a well-made boot in these points. It feels like New Balance have done a good job of putting this bit together. This is always an area of concern with boots, but I've got to be honest and say it feels pretty good on these so far. So considering this is New Balance's first attempt at a football boot in a little while, they've done a pretty good job. I think they probably used a little bit of the technology, a little bit of the information they had from the Warrior boots, and they've enhanced them a little bit, and they've been spending a lot of time working with players and trying to find like that perfect boot. So because this is a blackout version, it doesn't mean that it's necessarily the final product that you're going to see going to retail. Could be a few little things that change here and there. When you look at these and look at this video and we look at the close-ups that we show you, most of these elements are going to be the same. It's only little things here and there that the players are going to be having, adding some feedback to New Balance, and they might have made a few little changes before the final release. Overall, this is pretty much what you're going to get. Be interesting to see what those changes are when they do make the retail release, and we'll be looking forward to that. If you are considering these as a boot, it's not too bad a choice. If you've already liked the Phantoms from Nike, then you're going to be probably liking these, especially because those Phantoms are changing a little bit. So if you're hankering for the old original Phantom, then these could be well the way to go for you. Some good little elements on it. This nice little striking zone here adds a little bit of curve to your shots. That's a good thing. And this passing area here works quite well controlling the ball. Just a little bit of disappointing. This is going to be like New Balance's pro level boot, and it just feels like it's missing something when you think about the kind of pro level boots that Adidas and Nike and Puma are bringing out nowadays. But overall, decent crack in the market, definitely way better than what we were getting from Warrior Sports. So be interesting to see how the players like these and how you like them when you get to play with them. All right guys, thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're already subscribed. Then thank you very much. We're going to have a lot more reviews, unboxing, competitions, all that kind of good stuff on the channel soon. Right, I'm going to go enjoy some football. Thanks.